Good evening, people. Good evening. This is Spirit Journey. Oh, I'm just sitting down in my living room, have my computer on in front of me. Yes, this is my second video live stream for the day. Today is April 25th, 2022, and the time is 9:03 p.m. I want to talk about my experience with um, a movie that I just watched and something on YouTube. I'm going to combine the two in this live stream because I think it's related. It's about life and death. It's my little doggy. You hacking there, baby? My little doggy. Come on. Yeah. Yes, good evening, good evening, good evening, viewer. I hope you all are doing well out there. Yes, I'm just getting started. Yeah, I want to talk about the movie that I watched. Hey, Nubian. Yeah, what's poppin'? Yes, exactly. Well, another movie talk, Nubian. I'm going to talk about a movie that I just watched. I purchased it on iTunes, and I want to talk about this this news report that I just watched a second ago on this woman. Yeah, I want to talk about both. It's really today's conversation is about life. We're on this planet, and each one of us, we have our own path that we walk on. I hope you guys can hear me too. Let me know if audio gets a little funny. Yeah, I watched a Nazi film. A film about the Nazi era. What it was about. The thing is, who in the movie? What was of interest in this Nazi movie? Well, it's about a girl, but an unlikely character. They really talk about this type of thing. But it's something that has happened, and again, sometimes you have people want to just try to hide history, but it's really good to know what happens within a history, a story within a story. This Nazi film featured what do you call a biracial girl, a German mom, and a black father. And they revealed that the guy was from Senegal, that is a country in West Africa. And they had a child. Oh, the title, yes. Where Hands Touch. It's called Where Hands Touched. Very good film. And it was directed and the screenplay written by a Ghanaian woman. I think she's British born, but Ghanaian parents. And I didn't know that when I watched the film. I found out about the film a couple of hours ago. Um, I was just randomly looking at something on the internet, and they started playing. I thought it was going to be a movie or something, and it was like a narrative. Like they were playing the movie, and they would give a narrative about the film. And I said, "What is this type of film?" I was confused about it, and everybody's asking the same question: "What's the name of the movie?" And they were. What was funny about that question was that in the very beginning, they give the name of the movie in big letters, but we're fascinated. I think we're just all fascinated because we see who we see. We see a black girl, and so I think you're distracted about that in Germany, a Nazi German. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that word. Um, During World War II era, um, you had. Did you research about med beds yet? Oh, Oh, that's interesting. You asked about that med beds. Um, I think we talked about that before. Something about the med beds. I haven't lately, but you could tell me about that. You could like email me about that. Um, yeah, but about going back to the movie now. Um, what was I just saying? Yeah, the in during that time in Germany, you did have like you had World War I, and then after the end of World War I, you had people who were like a lot of Europe had colonies in Africa. Or you have like Britain and France, and they had colonies and territories around the world, and you had other black people under them, like in the West Indies. France have overseas departments in the Caribbean, and they served in the war. So not just America that had blacks, other Western European countries, Canada has black people. But either way, um, it's not something that's really talked about. But after like World War, you had people who were sent over to, I guess, like clean up, so to speak, to stabilize the country after the major war, World War I. And some of those people that were sent were black people. And after a war, you know, you want to have fun. Yeah. I'm making light of it, but it is a sensitive issue. But men will be men and women will be women. And he was a soldier. He was a Senegalese, and he and the German woman fell in love. She gets pregnant, and something happens with the guy. I don't remember what happened, but he's not around. And she loved the man, and she's heartbroken because she doesn't have him. But for her, she at least had his baby, and she loved the girl. And it's ironic in the movie that the same thing. Oops, turn on the light. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, I have to. Come on, go back on. Sorry about that. I forgot. Yeah, my monitor is on, and so it brings out light so you can see me. But yeah, well, it's ironic that history repeats itself. People, history repeats itself. Like mother, like daughter, like mother. And it's ironic. The mother did her best to try to protect the daughter. The daughter that she would have during the time of another war. Yeah, absolutely. That's what Nubian. Um, yeah, she's 16 years old, the daughter, out of that union. And they also have like a little brother, and I guess that was from a separate union of a white man. So the brother is white, and she's mixed race. Um, they lived in Berlin, and the story shows like a behind the scene, like through this young woman's eyes, what was going on in Germany during, just before World War II hit, when that regime got into power in Germany. And boy, I wouldn't want to be living in those days. But with everything happening now, that people are getting edgy. You had people, um, like when the big C-19 hit 2 years ago. Um, you had people who were getting so afraid. I remember I was walking I just was entering into Central Park in Manhattan, and an unlikely couple who was standing way, way over to my left. Again, this is a very wide pathway, very wide. And I understand what was going on. I had sneezed, okay? They had their little mask on. And again, I'm social distancing, but I sneezed. And I sneezed in my elbow like that. Remember they said, okay, you're gonna sneeze, you go like that. And so that's what I did. And the guy, it was a young couple. They looked like um, early 20s, uh, East Asian couple. And he said something really rude to me, really hostile. I should say. He was very hostile. And it's amazing when people are afraid. And when you feel like you gotta, rules, they input a lot of rules. And those people don't follow the rules, oh, they're bad people. And it was awful. And it happened another time going in the park. Again, I'm social distancing. And a white woman, um, she looked like she was gonna she was skin and bones. She was 40s, 50s, and she looked extremely fit. Yeah, she looked very, very unhealthy, real bony. And she said something to me with her mask on, and she made it like a hand gesture, trying to intimidate me. It's something. So just imagine in world, at the time of the Third Reich. Yeah, that lady looked real unhealthy because she had the fucking mask on. You have people. I see this lady in the park. She had two masks on. She was riding a bike. We say hello to each other, and I wasn't really thinking, but sometimes my face has an expression, and I think she might have thought I was judging her, but I wasn't. I wasn't. I was just thinking. Um, but she explained, oh, I have allergies, and that's why I have the mask on. And again, it's none of my business why she had the mask on, but she had two on, and how are you going to get that oxygen? See that with what fear does. Fear can make you do foolish things, and to abandon reason and common sense. When you cannot breathe, or you cannot breathe well, and you're breathing in your carbon dioxide, that will lower your immunity, your natural immunity, and you will eventually develop chronic health order. Yes, two masks, but they're getting aggressive. Some people, like in 2020 when it first hit, um, and I was going to the park. I initially wore goggles and a mask, and then I said, wait a minute. I said, I don't want to wear this mask. Because I heard like a virus cannot be blocked using the type of mask that they want. You have to be in a biohazard suit and have your own air tank. You cannot wear just a mask because, see, viruses are airborne. And it will get in your eyes, get inside your ears, So for 2 years, they had us do this foolishness, in my opinion. But again, it's about what. Well, yeah, I have to stay on contract. I have to speak on. You know, speak it to yes. But it's foolishness. For 2 years, we were in fear, anxiety. I had a cousin that died. She goes to the doctors, says she's having trouble breathing. And they said, oh, it's just nerves. It's just nerves. So she goes home. This was during a weekend. So I don't know what day of the weekend, whether it was a Friday or Saturday or Sunday night. But by Monday morning, she was found dead by her husband in bed. So doctors were not using common sense for 2 fucking years. 2 years. And my cousin died. Isn't it a doctor supposed to, okay, you're having problems breathing? Okay, let's give you something to help you breathe. Or if it is her nerves, why didn't they give her something for her nerves? See, there's a lot of explaining to do. And remember the Nuremberg laws. There's a thing called the Nuremberg laws. And what the doctors here in America did was in violation of the Nuremberg laws. I'm sorry, Nuremberg Code. I'm sorry, yeah, Nuremberg Code. The Nuremberg laws is something else, what happened in Germany, but the Nuremberg Code. I hope I didn't get it backwards. I think it's the Nuremberg Code. Yeah, okay, thank you, Nubian. The Nuremberg Code about that that it has to be consent, not that you have to be informed consent. There has to be an informed consent about a particular procedure or experiment. It has to be a full disclosure, and only then, upon getting all the information, that the patient has to agree to the experiment or the treatment plan or whatever you want to call it. That was not done. And when they impose certain things on us and then intimidated us, like the bus driver. Remember I told you about the bus driver last year, and I had food in a box? Yeah, along with the 13th Amendment, the hyper. Yeah, that's right, Nubian. And the driver tried to intimidate me and slams the door in my face. As I look, I must have gave the dumbest look, people, like in disbelief. So waiting to open the door, so maybe he didn't realize I wanted to get on, even though it was just two people, me and the fellow that just got on, that was at the door. So I knock on the door, and it still didn't open. And then a couple of seconds later, then he opens it. I get on, and I'm drenched wet. It was raining real hard. And then he grits his teeth and shakes his head at me like I committed a violent crime. You know, I've seen on buses, these bus drivers here in New York City, a bunch of wimpy burgers. I witnessed on a bus years ago, it was a passenger on the bus. And this man, young guy, is exiting the front of the bus and slaps a woman that's sitting at the first seat right across from the bus driver. That bus driver had a responsibility to call the police because the guy assaulted a woman. But he did nothing. And they're fat. A lot of these taxi guys, bus drivers, they're fat and lazy. They're fucking cowards. They don't speak up, but they're worried about their health. They're worried about their health, and so they wear the mask, right? They got the plastic shield in front of them so that no passenger could beat them up, but yet he's going to let A man slap a woman and he exit and he doesn't even call the office. Say, hey, we had an incident on the bus, blah, 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 blah. No, he just did absolutely nothing and kept on going. And so I'm concerned about that. And I'm so glad that I didn't put that mask on when I entered that bus. Okay, yeah. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that for the 2 years, basically, I did I did what I felt comfortable with. And I know in my heart, you know, that, see, common sense will tell you that it can't do a damn thing. But if you're going to wear something, we have to wear the face shield, right? You wear a face shield. So you can at least see people, see you to still be able to see. They can see your facial expression. That's why we're not slaves. That would have made more sense. But no, but I do have a face shield. It's a, you know, you wear it on your hat. It's a hat that has a plastic shield over it. So if I feel I need it, I could always put it on. But either way, the real point of this live stream is really to focus that, see, life happens to all of us. And you'll never know how you're going to respond until it happens to you. What do you do under certain circumstances? Such as with the C-19, as I call it. But imagine now with this film, but during the time of World War II. See, anybody could watch a movie and wonder, that they would do this or that if they lived during that time. Well, the proof is in the pudding. What did you do during C-19? Were you like those that couple, those two people, getting huffy at me because I sneezed? And I'm far away from them, and I covered my sneeze, and they're wearing a mask, but it's fear. Stu Peters show? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I've heard of him. I could probably look him up. Yeah, let me just make sure. Oh, let me get this mouse. Oops.
After saving with customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual,
I accidentally pressed on something. Sorry. Let me put it on. Sorry about that. Sorry. Oh, he's on Rumble. Okay. Boy, my hand hit something by accident, so I have to put the thing. Okay, yeah. So, okay, let me put my little doggy down. Okay. So, yeah, so when stress hits, okay, it's very informative, okay. Yeah, when stress hits all of us, but it's how we respond. And this COVID was a big one, and that movie. So the movie that with the girl, it's really, that again, history repeats itself. And so the mother tries to teach the daughter that she was just a little younger, a little older than her when she had gotten pregnant. Again, the daughter was 16, and she meets the guy. People's actions have consequences. That's also what they talked about in the movie. But what really motivated them, the mother and the daughter, was love. She cared for the person. So it's icons for the 20 Rumble. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and it was very well done. The movie. It's called. Oh God, I don't want to give the wrong name. Hands, Where Hands Touch. Yeah, I think it's called Where Hands Touch. The actor was very good, and the actress was an American female. That I didn't. Wow, never seen her in my life. um, yeah, it was very it was well done. Never heard of the movie. It was just by chance, and but some things aren't by chance. Maybe it's, I think life is trying to show me. Um, Life is trying to tell me something. I noticed something with Hollywood with subjects like this, and I wonder what you ladies think. Now, it's not the first movie that I've seen that features a black female and a white male. But I noticed what Hollywood does. What Hollywood does. They it's social engineering, and it's always attacking the black female. And even in this movie, the young girl, the young biracial girl, she's thrown in a concentration camp. Her mother and she. And so here they're all in prison, in the death camp. And later on, the guy that she's with, she falls in love. See, if I didn't make it clear, the young black girl um, meets a boy by chance, and during the Third Reich in Germany, it was mandatory that every the youth, the Hitler youth, they were required to join the party, the Nazi party. So they had no choice in the matter. Um, and if they said no, they just kill them. Um, but she falls in love with it. They fall in love with each other. And he was supposed to be sent out to war, but instead, oh, okay, you'll be right back. But instead, what happens? He's sent to the death camp to want, to be a guard there in a death camp. And I think actually it was his father wanted to save his son. The father didn't want the son to go out in war. He was a good German boy who wanted to fight for his country, right? Does that sound familiar? You just want to fight for your country? Father said no and had him assigned, most likely the father had him assigned to that camp. And I think, they're shocked that they see each other. She looked awful. They really made her look bad. And she's pregnant. She's pregnant with the guy's baby. And yeah, so it was a love story. And realize you did have in Nazi Germany, you had women who did date the soldiers, the German soldiers. And after the war, they would shame these ladies. They were shaven, that they shaved their heads and parade them out. That they're really cruel in Europe, boy. Yeah. So, boy, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. But love is. And then soon people forget. People want to forget. People want to forget. But yeah, what I was saying now with war, and what I wanted to ask you, if any ladies are out there, um, I know that I feel that a lot of Hollywood does social engineering. They always want to read. See, Hollywood is a propaganda machine. So even though they talk about history, but a fictionalized story of of an actual thing in history, they still want to reinforce how they want you to behave socially. They teach in a lot of Hollywood films, if you're a black female, do not get in any relationship with a white male. And if you do, one or both of you will die. They show films of other nationalities, and people should marry who they feel like marrying. But I noticed in particular that the black female is really targeted, and they work on us so hard in these Hollywood films. They either show that she could be raped. Uh, if you fall in love, it's not gonna ever work. They're gonna pull you away. I mean, I saw several films in my lifetime, and so I found that I don't like watching them because I know how it's usually going to end out. And this one, how it ends out. I don't want to give what happens at the end because I don't want to spoil it. It was very, very entertaining. Very entertaining. The acting was good. I thought the chemistry between the girl and the guy was very good. Um, but it's a drama. Um, but again, you really learn about relationships. That again, history just keeps on repeating itself. The boy, I mean the guy, and the guy's father. The two again were really the same, but yet they were arguing with each other, and they were so similar that they were different. And the boy feels like, hey, you say you want me to be this way, but you really want something else. But again, the father was just trying to. He's being a father. He wants the best for his son and his safety. So regardless of race, ultimately with parents want their children safe. Yeah. Why do you think Hollywood tries to reinforce, in particular, the black female, the black womb, and the European man? The black woman, I should say, the African woman. Aren't we the indigenous ones on the planet? Every race comes from the black seed. Every race on this planet, genetics comes from us. Even Chinese people, Japanese people, Native American Indians, the Australian Aborigines, all their genetics, their mother genetics, their first genetics stemmed from an African. So why are we always on trial, it seems, about the taboo against us? I know of people, I know of a woman whose father was a German guy, of German ancestry, and the mother was a Jew. And they had been I guess right after the war, World War II, but they're not stigmatized to have that union. But the daughter, she marries a black guy, and they don't want to talk to him over the phone. So here, white Germans and white Jews are able to marry, and no one really bothered them. But here, that relationship, their daughter marries a black dude, and they don't want to ever talk to her anymore. Does that make sense to you? What did we do to deserve this type of treatment? Does anyone have an explanation? Anyone? Why the hatred? What is the real fear? Could it be, what could it be? A smoke stream? Is it really a, maybe our genetics, maybe our genetics have to be preserved? You ever think about that? Let's say you have a planet, you have a prison planet, and all the races come from our race. If they have to repopulate another planet somewhere, I know this sounds bizarre, but hear me out. I mean, it's just coming to my mind now. I'm trying to make logic. I'm a very logical person. Do you think possibly that they need to keep our genetics? You always hear about whites, or what we call Germans, have to keep their genetics pure. What if the real issue is to keep the black genetics pure? Hello? Anybody hear me out there? What if this is a slave planet? They're seeding. They have to take genetics from somewhere. You think this is the only planet in the universe? Do you think that, people? Do you think this is the only place where life is? The white race is a new race of people. And if they used our genetics to form modern day Europe, don't you think they're going to still require our genetics to seed other planets? I didn't know I was going to say this, people. I didn't know I was going to talk about this. But you have to start thinking. When you watch these films and the amount of fear and trauma that they want, who are they really targeting? They're targeting the female. See, you can't really scare guys into not having sex, but you can scare a female, right? You can scare a female because, again, females get pregnant. Females lose their virginities, right? Females, shame. A guy could go anywhere, start his life all over. But a woman in particular has more to lose in this society than a man. So she's the one that's being targeted. What is the real problem, what the real issue here is to preserve the indigenous population's genetics, and our genetics in particular. I noticed like places like the Pacific Islands. I used to live in the Pacific Islands also. And I noticed there's a large number of interracial unions there. Oops, sorry. My computer need the light on. Come on. Sorry about that. So I forgot to move the mouse. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I hope I'm making sense, people. I know what I'm talking about is different. Things always happen for a reason. And when you don't know what the reason is behind something, that's when fear kicks in. The fear of relationships. I've worked in Yeah, I've lived in Hawaii. And the stigma, oh, I remember, there's a lot of interracial unions in Hawaii. The indigenous Hawaiians are a black-skinned race people, in case you didn't know that. But it seems like with the Pacific Islands, they want to remove their identity. A lot of Hawaiians do not marry Hawaiians. They may marry other Pacific Islanders, but they do not marry Hawaiians. And I think it's sad. They don't like themselves. They may, in Hawaii, when I say they, I mean to say the people who reside in the state of Hawaii, the Hawaiian culture, the arts and crafts are promoted because you can make money off of it. But outside of that, or the dances, outside of that, people there seem to want to, they don't want to be reminded that they're Hawaiians by their actions. And the actions are they're not marrying themselves. So genetically, their genetics are being wiped out. That's what I noticed there. But our race, so it seems like in certain places, that's what's happening genetically with these people, and other parts of the Pacific Islands. And remember, they had they had laws in Australia with the indigenous people there, what they call the Aborigines. There are many interracial unions there. It's like they want to dumb them down. I mean, excuse me, I didn't mean to say it like that. They want to water down their genetics. And then they were pulling the children, the offspring of these children, and putting them in like boarding schools, and many of them were being traumatized. And it seems like, see again, it's that traumatization that's being done, also called the MK Ultra. And what did they do in World War II? That's where they really perfected the skill of the mind control. So everything, as everything seems to be repeating itself. History is just repeating itself. The cruelties of people repeat itself. The war in World War II, is just repeating itself. So, yeah, genetics have to be, I think certain genetics have to be preserved. Because if everybody intermarries, when I say intermarry, I mean having children, it's going to dilute the genetics. And it's like having, like if you're a farmer, you need to set aside good seed. Strong, pure seed. What do you call it? Heirloom, what do you call it? Heirloom seeds. Have you ever heard of that term, heirloom seeds? You have to use that. You have to have a set of heirloom seeds, especially if time of trouble are going to kick in. And I think that's where African genetics come in. We really have strong genetics. And so they want to make us afraid through these Hollywood, because Hollywood is just a social engineering platform. And just look at the people who control it. Again, World War II. Who was involved in World War II? See again, the same faces, but maybe a little, the same names. Same names and faces, actually. Look in American films. Look at the names. Start noticing the names. When I watch American movies, I wait for the credits because I want to see the last names of the people, and you're going to see the same type of names of people who were involved in those things in World War II. It's not by accident, people. See, they want us afraid. They want us afraid to each other. And now you notice they don't even want black women and black men to get together. So they didn't want blacks and whites. And now you're saying, trying to prevent black men with black women. There's a reason for this. See, it's boy, they want to put, I think, the whole planet on a lockdown. I know this sounds so bizarre. It's like a genetic lockdown. They want to lock you down from having children. They want you to be an AI technology. That eventually is going to be introduced um, to all of the planet. And a movie that talks about this is called Ghost in a Shell. That's a good film. I watched it several times. Yeah, sorry. Oops. Oh, the phone just froze. Come on. Okay, we're back on. Sorry about that. I'm low power. Yeah, I should get my yeah, if it goes on again, yes, I can't stay on too long. My power's running low. So let me just keep on going. If it pops up again, I'll deal with it then. So either way, there's things that are repeating its. Oh, what was I saying? Yeah, history just keep on repeating itself, and the genetics. They're concerned about genetics. Oh yeah, I remember the artificial intelligence. Yeah, to watch the film Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is a fantastic movie, sci-fi movie, but it gives a clue about what I'm talking about with the genetics and about African people. See, they always have something with African people, black people. They don't show anybody else, regarding this. They don't show South Asians, they don't show Pacific Islanders, they don't show Native American, but they specify African, black Africans. And in the movie Ghost in the Shell, in the very beginning of the movie, it was a dinner gathering um, with African guests, and they had this white guy who was trying to convince the Africans that they should do more of the artificial intelligence thing. The what do you call it? Body enhancements, to be specific. Body enhancements like to have a robot arm or a robot leg or bionic eye. You know what I'm saying? And they would say, look, we like technology and, but. And then right after they were saying that, they had a robot standing, that was to serve them food. And the robot attacks the guy. And the Africans are watching and say, see, that's why we don't want it. But it's about, see, the African represents humanity. And about our genetics is really interesting. And I think the other races are so jealous of us. They're jealous of our genetics. But let me see now. Yeah, it's something with the genetics. Love your genetics. See, they're really jealous about us. Don't be insulted if they call you the N word or anything. And the reason why I say that, people, is because, see, you are the envy of the planet. You are. And anytime they say something to insult you, you just say, thank you, because I am really the master of this planet, and you are our guests. It is your planet. This is your home, and everybody else are the aliens. They are aliens. They don't really know where they come from. If you ask the other groups, they don't know where they come from. We know where we come from. Yeah, start asking questions. Start noticing when you watch a movie. Read the last names, the ethnicity name of those people. And you're going to see certain names always keep on popping up. Ask yourself, why are they dominate the movie industry? Start asking yourself these questions. Start asking yourself these questions when you know trends. There's trends now. Now they're trying to introduce this free love, and they show very often now on the commercials unions of interracial unions. They very rarely show black man, black woman. They show us with other people. There's a reason for that. See, now it sounds like I'm contradicting myself. See, on one level, they want to block out certain things from happening. But see, they also want to pacify us to give us a false sense of security and acceptance. This is a a smoke screen. This is a smoke screen to pacify you. Protect yourself and protect your family. Don't believe the hype. See, they're just trying to pacify you with these new relationships. Protect yourself. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, that this is really, this live stream is really about life. When I finished watching the Nazi film, where hands touch, I think it was called. There was okay, that's right. Always protect yourself. Yeah, always protect yourself. Yeah, it's a lot of this is all these smoke screens. A lot of smoke screens use a lot of emotions, but it's to deceive you. They want to pacify, just like in the 1960s and 70s. Then they try to pacify you with giving you a false sense of inclusion. But it was just to blindside you, and then they introduced drugs in our neighborhood because they really trying to kill you. That's why it's so important to have self-control. It's really hard. Self-control is hard. Like I had what was it? Not ice cream. I had my junk food today. I got stressed and I started to indulge in eating. I have to be careful. But the main thing, see, this is a new type of warfare. And in this warfare, it's about self-control. They want you to press the trigger. They're not going to press it for you. They want you to press the trigger to to kill yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. So anyway, with this, after I watched the show where hands touched, that not about the Nazi era, it was a report about this woman who just passed away about a week ago. A Japanese woman living in Japan, and she was the oldest. Oops. Uh-oh. Sorry. Oh. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I thought my phone went dead. Oh, it was my monitor in front of me. Yeah, I had to just turn it on again. Yeah, what happened? She just passed away. And she was the oldest known woman on the planet. She was 119 years old. And yeah, let me show you what she looks like. Let me turn the camera. She looked pretty good. The one in the center. Yeah, it's her. Not bad. Yeah, she just passed away. Yeah, so that picture of her, oops, that picture of her, let me turn it around, sorry. Yeah, that was taken, I think, 2 years ago. Yeah, so she just passed away, but she was 119 years old. And the next woman, next person in line for the oldest person on this known planet, she's 117 years old, and it's a white woman. Um, I heard that, again, um, I don't know how to, I don't think they're telling the truth. But allegedly, well, I had watched this program, um, I think I saw it maybe 2, 3 years ago. It was in Nigeria, and they claim they have people there that are 200 years old. And this man and his wife go visit the elderly in Nigeria. They're a Nigerian couple, and they bring like a little gift or something so that they could get a blessing from these old people. And that's what they do. I don't know. I don't know. I've met Nigerians before, and I had to work with them. But some of the stories that they tell me, it's hard for me to swallow. And that one to be over 200 years. And if so, how come they're not in the Guinness Book? Do you believe someone could be 250 years old? Did anyone see that program? It was just, I just said, man, this guy's bullshitting me. I don't know. But yeah, but the interest though about the Japanese lady being 119, um, amazing. She was born in 1903, and just imagine the things that she's seen in her life. A lot of trends, a lot of things. She survived COVID. Could you imagine? So here, trends happen in her 119 years, different trends of things. One minute to like this person, another minute this other thing is in fashion. She's probably seen a lot of trends come and go. So that people are taught to hate certain types of people, and then they don't remember why they were to hate somebody. Why do we hate in America the way that we do? Why? If this woman, you think this woman is holding a grudge against people in history? You know, because remember, Japan was bombed. Do you think, things happen? When you start to see, 119 years of age, and then she's on it. Let's say she's on a deathbed, and all these thoughts are going through. What's going through this woman's mind? So I said, wow, history is flashing by her eyes. Living from World War One, World War Two, the Korean War, all these things that happened in our lifetime. What could you learn from a woman that age? She probably could teach you a lot of things about life. Is it really worth certain things to perpetuate certain mindsets? Is it worth it? Is it worth it to say, you can't go out with so and so? it's not worth it. Only thing I can say is enjoy the life you have. Embrace yourself. Embrace your body. See, they want us to all walk in shame. If it's not because you're black, it's because you're Jewish. If it's not because you're Jewish, it's because you're something else. If it's not because you're a female, it's because you're, you know, it's always going to be something that someone is going to point a finger at and persecute you. And you find people like in that movie here, they were all in prison, in a Nazi prison, and some of the people were making an issue of, some of the prisoners were insulting the black girl, even though she is of mixed heritage. And they were making an issue to the black female. They forget they're all in prison. And their fates are the same. Their fate was the same. So it really doesn't matter what they call you, because the fate of all of us is the same. We live and we die. Just like that woman, the Japanese woman, she was 119 years old, and she passed away last week according to this report here. And they make it sound so real about what's really important. There are people who teach people to hate certain people, but in the end, we're all in the same prison, and we don't seem to realize it. The people in those Nazi camps, they were all in the same bunker. Not the bunker, bedroom, in bunk beds. That's what I meant. They were in bunk beds, being grumpy at each other, and then name calling. And they were name calling her some not so nice names, but they were all in prison. This is a prison planet, and it's a reason why they make such a big thing with genetics. They don't want us to see certain things. There are things that are going on, I perceive, that's only the privileged people have access to. I'm going to tell you guys a secret, that you can tap into secrets. And how you do it, you can do it by meditation. You do it by meditation. That method that I told you, some of you about, some of you that might remember. You want to find out about certain secrets, what's going on in this planet, do the meditation thing that I taught you. When you awaken from sleep, or you finish dreaming and you awaken, you keep your eyes closed, and you, as if you're looking through your eyelids, your closed eyelids, and you just stare straight. And then all of a sudden you're going to see something. An image or video is going to appear in your third eye. And I believe the veil is very thin. It's thinner now. And what's being revealed is getting more personal. And you may be able to see, sorry. Come on, it's gonna stop. Come on. Okay, yeah, that's just the battery again. It's getting smaller. Yeah, so I hope I'm making sense. I know I didn't know I was going to talk about this. See, I always go with the flow in my videos. I'm not all that popular. See, be careful about when everybody wants to watch your show. Like in the Bible, it talks about be careful when everybody likes you. Some of the things that are really most interesting are those that aren't really popular. Start meditating, people, because the veil is very thin right now. I perceive that the veil is getting thinner, and that's why I'm starting to see the type of things that I'm seeing. And maybe you out there will be able to tap into and discover what's really going on behind the scenes. Maybe you too might see the what you call the reptilian, or the people in hooded robes, or to be in exotic lands that you've never been to and never seen. Start doing it and come back and share with us what you've seen. Try it, and maybe you'll see what I've seen and more. To try to put like Dorothy in the movie The Wizard of Oz. That little dog pulled the curtain open and it revealed behind the scenes, or at what was actually going on. Everything she saw in The Wizard of Oz, that land, was just a smokescreen to distract her with more and more problems. The problems wasn't those monkeys that were chasing her. The problem was that the wizard lied to her. And she eventually, through her little dog, pulled open the curtain. And they saw behind the scenes. And she was eventually able to go back home on her own accord. I think all of us are able to somehow get back home. But we're distracted because of this 3D world. And I think movies like The Wizard of Oz and Here and Now is really saying the same story. We see all the drama, like Dorothy saw all the drama going on in life. But that was a distraction. And the real issue was her getting back home. We need to get back home. Stop meditating and ask for protection when you do it. Or when you do like a standard meditation, when you go to your meditation table, you put your candles on and the incense, blah, blah, blah. Ask for protection also. But when I do the thing early in the morning, upon awakening from dreaming or sleeping, I'm just staying in bed, I'm lying down, and I just keep my eyes remaining closed and look straight ahead, as if you're looking through your eyelids. And boom, you're going to see an image, or like a video, or you're going to be the person in the video. You can be the observer, or you could be the participant at what you're going to be experiencing. It's really something. It's really, really something. Start doing that, and maybe you'll be able to see the secrets, so that you won't be so affected about this illusion of racism, sexism, etc. It's all the same thing. They know what presses our button, and they do the same thing over and over again to wild us up. They want us angry at each other. They want us to hurt each other. But don't do it. Don't hurt anybody. Expose evil. Expose evil. And that's the way how to destroy them. Through awareness. Through knowledge. Sorry, the thing went. Sorry about that. Yeah. Expose those bastards. Expose. They're using us. They're using you. And in the end, you come out short and they're on top. Yeah. So I hope you like this video. This live stream. I enjoy doing it. And yeah, I didn't know I was going to talk about some of the things I talked about, but my spirit feels that this could be what's going on. We are all beautiful people. We are all really, we are okay. They want us to think that we're not okay. You have poor people who are under pressure, and you have rich people out there who are under pressure. Look at Johnny Depp. You do he's on trial, not trial. He's anti with defamation thing. He's suing his ex-wife. I can't believe the thing that this man is sharing what his girlfriend, I mean, what his former wife is doing to him. Caught on tape. I mean, audio tape. Horrible. He's a rich man. So you have rich people who are being harassed, and life is at stake. And his career, because someone is lying on him, his own wife. So why I share that is because we are all under attack. Whether you're rich or poor, male or female, it's about, we gotta keep it together. We have to try to get grounded. Get outside. If it's safe for you to do so, get outside, get the fresh air to revitalize yourself. Learn about what's priority for you to enhance your life. Enjoy what you have. They want to remove your joy. Don't let them take your joy. Don't let them take your joy. Okay? So I gotta be going now. My battery is running very low. Again, I appreciate you coming here online, and yeah, play it safe. Don't let them trick you into doing something stupid. Stay at home if it's not safe. Take care of your health. Okay? I thank you again. You can write your comments below. Share this video with friends and family members. And those of you who enjoy this content, you may wish to PayPal me. To do so, go to my channel, Spirit Journey, and on the top right of the banner of my channel is the PayPal me link. Click on the link, follow the prompt. Any amount would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I thank you all in advance. May you have a safe and secure night. Have a great day. Okay? Thank you again. Take care and enjoy. Till next time soon. Bye-bye.